Dad and I began our final challenge of FM24 in the Super League, and we started in Tier 3. We've managed to climb our way to the top of the top tier, where our challenge now is to be the first to not only win the Super League, but also win the incredibly difficult Champions Cup as well. And a few seasons ago, Dad did it and finally lifted the Super League trophy. 2 seasons later, I was in a mega final day drama ending with PSG after chasing them throughout the season. But after a cracking victory in the last game, we were crowned champions of the Super League as well. Which means we now have both conquered one of the 2 trophies we have to win, with 1 to go. So preparation to win the Champions Cup began as both Dad and I were buying big players, as I pick up a left back while he purchases a defensive midfielder. He also invested in a brand new backup goalkeeper, and while I was receiving huge bids for my rotational striker and decided to cash in as I have other options behind Borges. Which is the beauty of playing just one striker now and having the wingers chipping in with the goals instead. And I came flying out the gates in the league as we've won 11 from 12 games and Borges has scored 16 goals already in those 12. But of course it's the cup games that we are most concerned with as Dad cruises through the first 2 rounds of the competition. With a youngster that came through his youth academy scoring and shining in the second as he looked absolutely fantastic. However, my first match in the competition went to a penalty shootout where unfortunately in the lottery that is penalties, we missed 2 of them and are out. Right, well just typical, the first game I lose or even not draw in the season is in the Champions Cup, the most important game that I played out of all of the games so far. Typical.
Shame.
The game was actually 0-0 as well.
Bonus season for me then.
Yeah, I was even against 10 men. If you look at when the goals were scored, like 92nd minute, they had a player sent off for the 93rd. We actually went 2-0 down after being down after they were down to 10 men, and we pulled it back in the 122nd minute and still lost on penalties, which is very frustrating. But then we lost the next game after that against Benfica, so maybe we're on a bit of a downward spiral at the minute, considering we were battering everybody.
Your start looked so good there, didn't it, really?
Yeah, so, I don't know. But obviously the players that we brought in, there's quite a few of them. Young players too. We've loaned most of them out. My thinking is now a lot of the players that we have is around about that 27, 28 years of age. So we're looking to bring in better players who are younger. So we've got Albastegi, who is a very good left back that we're going to lock in that left wing back role. Look how good. He is unbelievable.
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
World-class left back there. Then we've got another 4 players with £100 million spent. We did sell Vlaevski for £72 million, which basically paid for all of these. And as you can see, they've all gone out on loan. So the 4 that's come in, gone straight back out, and they're being paid for, a few of them as well. So Felix Hornig, £23 million, good centre-back option. He's gone out to Celta Vigo. Daniel Martinez from Cruz Azul, good right midfielder, Mexican, gone out to Ipswich, it is Ipswich. Santiago Farias from Racing Club, another decent centre-back with good physical, 6'5" as well. Could potentially have played for us already, arguably. Yeah. But he's definitely going to get first team football at Hamburg, so I'm all right with that. And Chris Harkness from Celtic. The most expensive one, defensive midfielder, 20 years of age, Scottish, looks great already. I reckon just 1 season and at Inter Milan as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
He could be ready for the first team. So, playing my similar tactic as what obviously won the league. Well, the same tactic what won the league for me last year. We are rocking and rolling. We've only got to worry about the Super League, which is annoying that we're already out of that, but we could just solely focus on that, try and get ourselves another Super League under the belt. But the team picks itself, to be honest. It looks a very good side. Over to you, Dad. You've only got 2 players that have come in. One was a backup goalkeeper.
Yeah.
In Holger Becker, £35 million.
He's a good keeper, isn't he?
Very good.
That's a good backup keeper. Makes you wonder what my first team keeper is really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm pleased with that.
And then the main player that's coming in, £80 million, Philip Gabor from Barcelona.
I think it's his money well spent, this one is. I think he's a defensive midfielder who can also play in the forward midfielder, the sort of centre midfield player, but both-footed as well. He's very good, very strong on the ball as well. Is even marking, so that's what he's ideal for that position, really. Concentration, all there, positioning, senses there, vision, work right. He's got it all for a defensive midfielder, I feel. So I think it's a good buy, really.
Well, he's got one weakness, passing.
Yeah. But he's there to win the ball.
Yeah.
That's what I've got him for.
That is his main weakness.
Yeah.
He's a world-class player, though. He's got 2 goals already for you, too.
Yeah.
So if we're looking tactically, you're locking him and Fenton in.
Yep. I'm going to
locking the defenders
try
in.
and get a good sort of team, work right going with them to get them used to working with each other. Yeah. I'm going to try and lock a few players in more key positions this time to see if it'll help sort of try and keep them in these positions and so they'll play every game then, especially in the cup. I want them to play in the cup.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm mainly doing. So I'm trying to sort of lock my sort of key players into the set positions that my assistant manager just doesn't change that sort of what I call the spine of the team.
Yeah.
I think the forward line will pick itself, mind you.
Yeah, Olshova, who can play in this attacking midfield role, going in there, looks like a really good shadow striker.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Because having off the ball like that with that much pace and the player trait of gets into opposition area, stuck in this position here when there's 3 players already being marked in front of him, he could just go wandering off.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
On his own into the box. Not a bad start, obviously, if you're looking at your main goal is to get through the cups. And you've won 6-0 and 2-1.
Yeah.
Just the league, there's a few games which you drop points.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the league. I mean, as long as I do well in the league, so I'm winning money. That's what you're looking at, really.
Yeah.
It's like you say, it's the cups, and that's why I've locked these players in. So I'm hopefully I'm playing one of my strongest teams in each cup. Then, strongest team in the cup, really.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if you could get any further and possibly win the cup with me completely knocked out of it, or is it going to be another season with us trying to knock each other off the top of the Super League? One thing that continued was my form in the Super League. I was winning everything and very comfortably too, taking down some of the best teams in the league with ease. The movement from the ball-playing defenders to the centre midfield on attack was just timeless. Dad's form in the league was also great, but with the Champions Cup, his side was once again locked in, getting through the 3rd round against Girona by 3-0. The next round also seemed to be a breeze until after being 2-0 up and cruising, Wolves scored 2 very late goals to take the game to extra time and then penalties, which then followed, where quite frankly, one of the worst penalty shootouts then took place as both teams just looked like they didn't want to progress until eventually Dad's side bagged the all-important winner. And the next round was just 2 games later and seeing Dad overcome Lecce 2-1 to go through the 5th round. In the league though, Mads Borges has been on a rampage and scored 32 goals so far in 27 games. My Ares side are sailing 11 points clear already after that only loss to Benfica. In the next round of the Champions Cup, Dad's Poznan side had to face AC Milan, who, under Pep Guardiola, was struggling to find their feet in the Super League and sat down near the relegation spots. However, on this day, Dad's side failed to make as much of an impression as they did in the first half of the season in that competition and bowed out, losing 5-2. We also played each other in January, and of course, Mads Borges was on the score sheet again, but Dad's side battled through, won a penalty, and stole a point. At this point, though, it would take something monumental for me not to win the Super League after I opened up a 13-point gap. And there was one man who was determined to make sure that we didn't slip up and perform the biggest bottle job of the century, as Mads Borges scored time and time again, finishing the season playing 46 times and scoring 46 goals, sealing the title in back-to-back seasons. Well, complete and utter dominance of the Super League. That might be the biggest win of the Super League since its rendition, because we won it by 15 points. We only lost 3 games. Borges got 46 goals. And Diana, Dirty Diana, as I'm calling him, got 25 clean sheets.
I'm just glad you got knocked out of the cup early doors. Because I mean, it goes to show you, we're only losing 3 games. You went probably the whole season.
Yeah.
At top of the league, probably.
Yeah, I mean, past positions does look like it was just...
Yeah, you got there, then you stayed there. So
dominating all the way through.
I'm glad you did lose in the cup. I know you had nothing else to concentrate except for league games, but you could have still done it though, couldn't you?
Yeah. Once we were there, we were staying there. We had the most goals. We had the fewest conceded. We had the most clean sheets. This is an unbelievable performance from my Aris side. I've bought an incredible team and put them together. We just could not get through a penalty shootout against young boys. But speaking of, obviously, that Champions Cup, Dad, AC Milan in the 6th round, unfortunately. Inter Milan won the whole thing. So, 6th round, which was a 5-2 loss at that point.
And then hammering as well, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so Not an amazing
Disappointed there. It was a free
performance
season for me there, really.
Yeah, 5th round against Lecce, 4th round, obviously penalty shootout against Wolves. And you flirted with the top. February was when it was really bad for you, because that's also when you got knocked out by Milan in the middle of February. But that also kicked off a bad run of games there, which ended with a loss to Bayern Munich, who, by the way, have hired Jamie Carragher. How is he doing this? This is absolutely mental. From AC Milan, Fiorentina, Real Madrid, Liverpool, and then Bayern Munich. This is crazy. The storyline
He just
writes
don't go to
itself.
any old club now. He goes to the big clubs as well, don't he?
Only deals with the biggest clubs in the world. Jamie Carragher and his 4-4 bloody 2. Incredible. But there we go. Now, did he take over? So when was that? The 20th of March. When did he take over? So yeah, he took over in February. So you're one of his first games, and he battered you. So that's fun. 3-1. Unlucky. But there we go.
Yeah, had a bad run the cup lost, didn't I? So
had a lovely run there.
Yeah, and got it back a little bit there. So a bit disappointed really. Bit on the downer then.
If we're looking at mine, there are a few draws. I'll give you that, and we drew against each other, in fact. But there's one loss there at Real Madrid. They are so hard to come by. 2 next to each other, obviously the Benfica one. Crazy stuff, really.
Yeah.
So we done really well. Done very well. But the man of the season, Mads Borges, 47 goals in 47 games.
Yeah, he does look good, doesn't he?
Very good. But he's 30 now.
Ooh.
You think we bought him when he was like 19? He's 30. He scored 245 goals for us in 485 games. So I have obviously started buying players. I don't think I have a striker that's like ready to go in, but we do have other options like Velikov, who's there, and there's a few other players as well who could potentially play up front should we need to, should we decide to sell Mads Borges, but I don't really want to, even though he is there. I feel like he is mine.
I think you've still got 2 seasons out of him.
Yeah, he is mine.
Really.
We've got £77 million to spend as well, and Dad, if we're looking at yours, £60 million. Now, your side of things, Pena got the most goals, 29. Obviously, we're playing 4 basically up front, 18, 15, and 14. Lower, I would say, on the other 2.
Yeah.
You'd maybe want the other 2 to be higher slightly than Vidmar.
I think I would have liked at least 3 of them to be in the 20s.
Yeah. That's what you're aiming for.
Really, yeah.
Olshover in that attacking midfielder, though, getting 15 and 16 is quite good.
Yeah.
Very good indeed.
Yeah. Overall, I'm pleased with the amount of goals that we've scored. Could have been a few more, but I think we conceded quite a few goals as well. If I remember looking at the goal difference, mine was quite low.
Yeah, so if we're looking at
38.
statistics, fewest conceded, you went on that.
Yeah.
So you have to go down quite far. You're joint 21st in that. And if you think you
conceded 66 goals, that's a lot of goals.
You finished in 6th place and you're that far down because you scored the second highest. You only scored 5 less than I did.
Yeah.
And you look how far ahead I was.
Yeah. So I've got to be happy with my strike force.
Yeah.
Which I should be really. I've got four strikers really playing, haven't I? So I've got to seriously look at my defence and think what was wrong there, really.
All right. Well, that is your task. My task is to stay in the bloody Champions Cup going forward. But we've got a new crop of youngsters coming through that maybe we can rely on in the next season. The summer began with me spending a lot of cash on a young left-sided centre-back from Barcelona, while Dad was finding a bit of a bargain in Juan Luis, who was an excellent attacking midfield for 50 million. Dad also signed a new right-back from Bayern Munich as a rotational option due to his backup Helio Fortes leaving the club at the end of his contract. Once again, though, I was bringing a youngster into the team as I signed a 20-year-old centre-back for the right-hand side. With my thinking being that I've already sold Baptiste, who's 30, and Schneider, who is the same age, also has a lot of bids for him. And so a lot of my focus this transfer window went on younger players and loaning them out in preparation for these guys that I have brought in to replace current first teamers in a year or 2. Dad decided to tinker with the system again, adopting a 4-2-2 formation, and it really paid off in the early stages of the season. His team went on a similar run of form as I did last season, winning 9 out of their first 12 games without losing a single one. Of course, though, the Champions Cup is the priority, and Dad's side also breezed through the first 2 rounds of that competition, scoring 11 goals. And a lot of that was thanks to another Youth Academy product in Leland, who at 18 has been fantastic. However, even though my league form sunk at the start of the season, my 2 games in the Champions Cup were better than Dad's. Right, Dad, we're both through to the 3rd round of the Champions Cup. Good stuff, good start. So I've got Sheffield United in that 3rd round. You've got Monaco in the 3rd round as well.
Yep. Not going to be easy.
No. You've had a better start than me overall. You're first in the Super League. It's easy to see why. You haven't lost a single game yet, and form-wise, been amazing.
Yes.
You even managed to get 2 points against Jamie Carragher's Bayern Munich.
Yes. I owed him one, didn't I? So, yep, got that out of the way.
Outstanding stuff.
Yeah.
That's because I think the players that you've brought in, very smart, to be honest. If we're looking at, obviously, Dave McLeod was the replacement because Hector Fortes left on a free transfer. So, like for like, replacement for your right back.
He might not get brought into the first team. He might be the reserve one, but he's still good. I'm happy with that sort of thing. He's got if mentals, he's really good.
Yeah.
And physicals, it's just a little bit on his technicals could improve in this league, I think.
That was bought from Jamie Carragher's Bayern Munich.
For a naughty number.
Yeah. But we're looking at players going out as well as Hector Fortes. You did sell a couple of players for over 100 million. Dennis Antwi was one of the players. He's been here for a long time from you, over 10 years.
30 years of age. I'll take the money. That's good money for a 30-year-old, I feel.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So to your friends at Arsenal. Omar Toyo as well.
I like to stitch him up now and again.
So,
and another 30-year-old. So I just feel I got 100 million for 2 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's good business, I think, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, then we've got 2 more players who did join for roughly the same amount of money as well. So £100 million coming in, 105. You got another centre-back who...
That's just like for like, really.
Yeah, left-footed as well. So 4 years
the
younger.
the one defines, isn't they? So,
and then
for that.
Juan Luis from Wolfsburg, exactly the same. That attacking midfielder role.
And what a player this could be.
And he is world-class.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, he's got everything, I feel, really. So... I mean, his mentals is really good, and physicals, he's got it all, and he really. I mean, he's in his passing 16, first touch 15. What a player this boy could be.
Good. Tactically, then, changing things up.
Yes, this is one of my favourite tactics. This is very narrow, sort of 4-4-2-2-2, really, isn't it? So I'm going to go for it.
There's a lot of 2s. 4 on that.
There's a lot of 2s in there, wasn't there?
4-2-2.
Yes.
If you went 4-4-2-2-2,
did I?
You'd have an extra 4 players on the pitch.
Yeah, I'm up for that. Win the cup then, couldn't I?
Yeah, but we're locking in Peter Bork.
Yes, I'm willing to. You're always telling me that sometimes certain players need a chance and lock them in. So this guy's a young guy coming through. I'm just going to give him a chance and see what he does for me in one season.
Yeah.
I think I've got enough good players around him to sort of help him that I might just get away with just locking a striker in.
Yeah.
It's one of those positions where you can afford to do it sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, because, I mean, last season he did make a few appearances. He got 1 goal and 1 assist, but the seasons before that, if we're looking at non-competitive, so that would be the youth games that he played, I mean, he only got 76 goals in 92 appearances there, 62 in 49 there, and 18 in 21.
So he knows where the back of the net is. So I've had a look at that, and I'm going to take the chance.
Okay, well, I think it's a good decision as well.
Yeah.
So there we go. And it started very well. I mean, he has scored a couple of times as well. You can see his name every now and then. Can you? Because that would be... Yeah, there he is. I did see his name. I swear I did. Popping up. So he is scoring goals. He is getting on the score sheet. But let's have a look then. Aris, we haven't started as well. We started okay. We're through the next round. We've sold a couple of players as well, like you. Baptiste, 30 years of age. He's gone. Holovchenko, who we haven't really used that much, to be honest. I got quite a lot of money for him. £26 million. I know I spent 57 on him, but I barely played him. So we got some of our money back from that. And we're making money off of the loan signings as well. I did mention Chris Harkness potentially playing some games. If he stayed, he probably would, but then Napoli come in with a loan deal where he plays every single game. So I was like, well, okay, we'll do that. We'll loan him out for another season, because I think the players that we've got coming in are absolutely fantastic as well. So Alfred, £100 million from Barcelona, a lot of money, left-footed centre-back, only 21 years of age.
Yeah.
Very good player to start things off there. Physicals are great. Leonardo Fernandez from Boca Juniors, £6 million for a backup goalkeeper, only 18. And then finally the last one, Catalejo Munchunu from PSV Eindhoven. He is a South African centre-back. Again, only 20, but very good.
Yeah.
6'4", lots of jumping reach as
Two-footed.
well. 2-footed, can head the ball, and he's quick, and he knows where to stand. Lovely stuff. So he comes in, and he might actually get into the first team too. Sticking with what, I mean, we ain't going to change this. We've won the Super League 2 years in a row, and last season we were unbelievable.
Only an idiot like me would change the team.
That's true. Your words, not mine. If we're looking at the best team, then Alfred does go in. The other guys do not. But we've got enough games in across the season that they will play enough games.
Yeah.
You can already see, I mean, Munchunu has started 3 games already. I think Velikov there, he's come off the bench 12 times. Probably for Mads Borges, who's only got 5 goals in 14. What are you doing? Terrible performer. But there we go. So our aim for this season, and we've got each other's coming up very soon, before that Champions Cup tie. We need to get further into that competition. For one of us to win it, that is going to be obviously how this challenge ends, because we've already got 1 out of the 2 trophies done. So straight away we clash during September, and once again it's a back and forth tie, with Dad taking the lead with the momentum that they had at the start of the season. But after I eventually got back into the game, we go on to win it 2-1. But this was only one of 2 losses Dad suffered all the way up until January, and that included in the Champions Cup. Swooping through 2 rounds of the competition to reach the 5th round yet again. I was also having a similar success as our form from the start of the season improved drastically, and we also progressed through the next couple of rounds. The league table was very interesting too, as we were joint second with Newcastle, as Dad was flying 7 points clear at the top. Back in the Champions Cup though, and once again Dad had to rely on a penalty shootout against Stoke City after the game finished 4-4 to progress through to the quarterfinals. In the 5th round I breezed through with a 3-0 win, but that was when I met my end in the competition, as Manchester City held my strike force quiet and scored the only goal of the game in the 6th round. While I was knocked out, Dad was still in, and I was closing him down in the league table. Back to the Champions Cup, and after taking the lead against Burnley in the quarterfinals, it was another equaliser against Dad that took the game to a penalty shootout. And so the goalkeeper once again saved the spot kick on the day for Dad to progress through to the semi-finals, where opponents Manchester United and their legendary striker D'Amato scored an amazing solo run to take the lead, only for Dad's Poznan side to score their only shot on target in the match soon after, which sent the game to a 3rd penalty shootout in the competition in a row for Dad. But this time, he wasn't as fortunate as the rest, losing at the last hurdle before the Champions Cup final. And just a few days after that, he's beaten the exact same Manchester United team comfortably in the league 3-1. And unfortunately for me, barely dropped a point throughout the rest of the season. What a season.
Pleased with that. I thought you was going to win that league again easily.
Yeah, I mean, you put up a great fight. 109 points, 105, but the semi-final on penalties.
Really done it. Which
Man United Manchester
team.
final. Look, Man United beat Man City in that final. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gutted. I am gutted. I mean, what a season I've had to get to the semi-final as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think either one of us done that, have we? Where you've done well in both.
I did the semi. No, not in both. No. When I was getting to the semi-final, it was like I was mid-table.
Yeah.
It's been so long. But yeah, you've done really well, because the Super League, obviously we know, is so difficult, and with how good my team was performing last year, yeah, you've done it exceptional.
Yeah.
Won by 4 points. Still the top scorer is Borges, but you've got Rovik and Penyev in behind there, which is 37 and
that's a bit
30
better.
And 27.
That's why I'm winning the league.
Yeah. So very good stuff indeed. And Rovik, who is not only got 30 goals but has the most assists with 20, so that's insane.
Yeah.
Then you got my 2 wingers there either side, who probably have been supplying Mads Borges with a lot.
I'm a lot pleased with the goal difference as well. 68 this time. I was in the 30s last season, so
yeah,
definitely improved on that.
Because you scored the most goals, you had 119, I only had 102, the fewest conceded. I was still up there just behind Tottenham, but now you're in that.
Yeah.
8th place there, and the clean sheets...
15 goals difference.
Yeah, the clean sheets, you're 18th, so you didn't have as many clean sheets, but not as strong as me defensively, but you just scored way more goals.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up with that. So what a season.
Yes.
What a season.
Really pleased with that.
But we still have not won that cup.
No. Oh, so close. Semi-final.
Rovik, 31 and 20. We've got 27 for Penyev there. Olshova, 17 and 10. And Juan Luis, the new guy coming in, 16 and 12. Not too bad at all.
No.
Transfer budget, you got a massive one for getting that far.
Yep.
As we always say,
That's
the
what it
money
helps.
in that
Yeah.
competition, £149 million there with a very big wage budget. I've got 126. Now, I didn't get anywhere near as far as you did. Manchester City knocked me out, so the other Manchester team that got to the final knocked me out. And that was 1-0, so I had a sneaky loss there when you were going through.
I think if you'd beat them and I
Stoke.
beat Man United, we would have met in the final. That would have been brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If you you only just scraped past a third tier Stoke
Yeah,
City
penalties.
on penalties in that round. Unbelievable.
That's what it takes. You can win ugly sometimes.
Yeah, but well done. Yeah. So, not too bad. I'm not too disappointed. After 2 back-to-back Super Leagues, we're going to have a drop-up for some point. Ahmed Manga's been great, by the way. He's been so good. He can play left wing-back and right mid. Now that we've got a left wing-back, he's been playing right mid and just doing unbelievably well. Keeping out Matteo Hansen, who I bought him for that right midfield role. He was a disgusting player. Can't get into the team at the minute. Unbelievable. I want to highlight, though, Chris Harkness. So Chris Harkness obviously was at Napoli throughout the season, only played 8 games. Yeah.
That's disappointing, isn't it?
So he was recalled in January and got 28 appearances under his belt.
That's good for you.
So he has turned into a bit of a beast for us in that first team. So he'll be playing for us a lot more next season. We got a couple of loan players who will be coming back too. So we'll see. But now, financially, £126 million. Off we go to try and spend that for next season. So don't go anywhere. We've still got to win that Champions Cup. That's got to be the final thing we do before FM24 comes to an end.